Okay, lesson 3, I want to get into modes. People are often asking me about modes. I get a lot of emails about modes and modal playing. If you don't know what modes are and what modal playing are, I can guarantee you that you've heard it. You've heard this style of playing, and it's a little bit of extra thought process, but it's not too difficult to do. The good thing is that if you want to get into playing in modes, if you already know your 7 diatonic scale patterns, you already know all the modes. You just have to learn how to put them together. Alright? So, let's take a look at it this way. A mode is simply when you take a scale. I'm going to use the C major scale pattern as an example. Okay? There's that sound. We're used to that sound. C major. Okay? If I take that C major scale, but I start on one of the other notes in the scale pattern, I start and end on a different note. I don't focus on the C so much. I'm going to focus on D instead. Okay? What I'm really playing here is the mode called D Dorian, alright? Based on a D minor chord. There's a D minor chord in the C major scale, alright? I'm playing Dorian here, alright? Has that minor sound. What about the next note up the scale? The next note up the C scale is E. If I play a C major scale, but I keep focusing on that E note, and that E minor chord, I'm playing in the mode known as Phrygian, in this case E Phrygian. Alright? Modes are simply taking your diatonic scale patterns and focusing on different notes in the scale. If we were playing C major, we'd be focusing on C. Our phrases would begin and end on C a lot of the time. If I want to play E Phrygian, I take that C major scale, but I focus on the E notes, and I play in that E scale a lot. All right, I play in that with that E note. All right, I begin and end phrases on that E note. If I want to play D Dorian, I play the C major scale, all the same notes, all the same diatonic patterns you learned, but I keep focusing on that D note. I begin and end phrases on the D. The song probably begins and ends on a D chord, all right, a D minor chord. This is how you play modally, all right? Now, it takes a bit of work to get used to doing this, all right? But eventually you start to understand this and you start to learn these concepts of the modes and all that. Again, I dig really deeply into modal playing in the advanced level of this course. And hey, you know, it's a free course. Go in and learn all the stuff about modes that I teach you in the advanced course, all right? This is just meant to be an introduction to modes. There are 7 modes as there are 7 diatonic scale patterns, all right? I just talked to you about Dorian and Phrygian. Another big one is Mixolydian. You've probably heard people talk about Mixolydian. Mixolydian mode is the key to a lot of rock guitar playing. If you want to play like Hendrix, Zeppelin, Van Halen, B.B. King, if you want to go that route. It's a lot of that stuff is Mixolydian, all right? You need to understand a little bit about how to tweak your diatonic scales into these modes. All right, again, go and dig into it in the advanced lesson. Now you at least understand what modes are about, all right?